Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Guitar Souls podcast. What is this, 22, 23?
At this point it's grew arms and legs and run away.
We are back, myself, Levi Clay, Mike McLaughlin of Party Cannon fame.
Infamy.
Yeah. Levi Clay the YouTuber, Mike McLaughlin the touring musician, professional.
Brother of K-Mac.
Okay.
Less significant.
But we're trying to push ourselves into that world of being more relevant and being more successful. Mm-hmm. And in order to meet those ends, it's actually just to help pay for our hosting for the podcast for another year. Mm-hmm. We have t-shirts. T-shirts.
Have
Mike's
you got a t-shirt
one
with your face on it, Kieran? No. Bite that.
Yeah, so if you are watching the podcast rather than listening, Mike is showing off one of those lovely t-shirts with both mine and Mike's face on them. If you would like to pick one up, there will be a link in the description of the YouTube video, or you can leave us a comment wherever and I will send you a link to them. Mm-hmm. They're up on Teespring. We went with Teespring rather than producing shirts and shipping them out ourselves just for that very reason. Producing and shipping out shirts is a lot of time and effort.
Let's leave it to the professionals.
Teespring take a lot of that out of the equation, and maybe we don't get quite as much per shirt sale. It's actually quite good because we get to decide the price of the shirt. Mm-hmm. And Teespring generally, when you create a shirt on there, their recommended price for it is £22. But I bought ours right down to £16, so we don't make nearly as much on them as we would if we charged more. But yeah, we don't need them. We only want to sell a few of them, and when we do that, our hosting is covered. So please consider checking out the Guitar Souls t-shirts. Check them out and buy one for a loved one, buy one for an enemy, buy one for yourself. I have one too. I thought it would just be a bit silly if we were both wearing the same shirt. So I'm wearing purple today. It's like it's not a this present from Chris Woods. So
that is a good present.
That is
that is a fucking good present.
Yeah, Haley really likes this shirt too. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
Certainly do, yes indeed.
This was stuff that we wanted to talk about on the last episode, but we ended up... What did we do last episode? Kiss and...
We ended up havering, which is a Scottish word for talking too much shit for too long.
Yeah.
We kept getting distracted.
It was a good conversation.
It was good. I really enjoyed it, actually. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
hopefully everyone else feels the same and they weren't just like, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
Yeah, I just feel a bit bad for people that may have been watching the podcast and thinking to themselves, because obviously in the intro I give a rundown of the things we're going to talk about, so they were probably sat there going, but you never got around to talking about those things. Well, I've got bad news, guys. Some of those things we're never going to talk about because it just seemed less than relevant all these weeks on.
Due to time constraints are now into the ether.
Yes, so these things happen. But we are going to talk about Tosin Abasi today.
Mm-hmm.
Because why not? We've got the best band breakup of all time.
At least the best public one that we've seen.
Yeah.
The best guitar teacher in the world, Tom Morello.
Yeah.
The one of the most interesting pieces of music that I think either of us have ever seen and not heard yet.
Yeah, it's been up for weeks and neither of us have listened to it.
I listened to the first 10 seconds before you sent me the link and I was like, oh my god, that is offensive. And then you sent the link and I was like, okay, I will not listen to it just in case. Speaking of insane, we've got Billy Corgan to talk about.
Yeah.
This was another article that you had linked, the phone free concert.
Yes.
And how we feel about that. I'm still kind of deciding, so we'll need to see once we've read and spoke about the article. And
then when I went on Music Radar's website today, they've gone full BuzzFeed and they've uploaded lists upon lists upon lists. So we're going to go through some of those lists and see who they deem to be the best rock guitar players, the best metal guitar players, the best prog guitar players, the best blues guitar players, and the best new guitar players. And I should point out, those aren't the only lists they uploaded in the last 24 hours. Right. There was acoustic guitar players, there was alt rock guitar players, there was bass players. Like, they went full force, like, we're just going to...
Bass players as if they're musicians, come on.
Yeah, full on BuzzFeed it.
Terrible.
So, Tosin Abasi.
Abasi
guitars.
Yeah, What guitars?
Yeah, exactly. It's really funny. We obviously talked about Tosin Abasi on the show and Abasi guitars when they had those quality control issues.
Yes.
And that resulted in Frank Falbo, who was the builder and partner with Tosin, actually reaching out and saying, I'd like to give my side of the story. And that was, I can't remember when that was now. Like,
it was a good while ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it might have been a year ago because it was last NAMM. And just after the guitars had shipped, or the guitars that had been produced had been shipped.
Yeah, I ended up doing...
even shipped. Was that not the prototype? And it was someone got a hands on at it.
No, it was the one that had landed in Japan. So it was
someone had sent. Okay, right. Sorry. So you're probably talking what the first,
Probably
second
March.
quarter last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I did an interview with Frank on my YouTube channel, and he was a really nice guy. I really enjoyed that interview. He was very candid about everything, and
He had a lot of nice things about him, to his credit.
Yeah, totally. And actually, that was the reason I was willing to do it, because I had no connection to Frank, but Jason, mutual friend over at Wampler Pedals, hooked me up with Frank and said, no, trust me, he's a good guy. And it was the same. He said to Frank, no, Levi might come across as an asshole, but he's a good guy. I've known him for a long time. So,
but he is an asshole.
Yeah, of course I am. I'm a guitar soul.
Oh, look at it.
Look
at it. We are currently taking endorsements.
Yeah, get your t-shirts now. Anyway, so all of that stuff happened, and Frank kind of assured me that things were okay and they understood the process now. Well, it turns out that sometimes things don't go to plan.
The landscape has changed.
Yes, and Frank is no longer with Abasi Guitars.
Yes.
The official announcement has been made, and they have actually changed their name from Abasi Guitars to Abasi Concepts.
Yes, so I think there's going to be much more products under Tosin Abasi's name, including the Abasi Pathos, which is the new pedal he's released. Funnily enough,
With Wampler.
With Wampler, yeah.
So I'm sure, I've obviously not played one, I'm sure it will be a high quality piece of kit because Brian Wampler made it. And
yeah, and if his name's on it, it's going to be good.
if I look at my pedal board now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 Wampler pedals on it, and that's not the only Wampler pedals I have. I've got more in a drawer over there. Like they make great. They really do make good pedals. So I'm sure it'll be great. But yeah, there is that concern. There's Abasi Concepts and them talking about, it was always our plan from day one to release a multitude of products. Maybe finish releasing the one that you tried to launch. I can speculate as to where this is going to go now. I'm sure he has probably been over to Asia and is trying to find a factory where he can manufacture these Abasi guitars nice and cheap.
I can see it probably being World Music, WMI.
Okay.
Which is the same as the Ormsby's. I think Washburn, I think Solar do some in there. Some Fender, Cott, Ibanez, like everybody.
Okay.
Everybody.
It's not an area I know much about, but
good factory, great stuff.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, I've not played any of the Solar stuff, but it looks really cool. I keep seeing all of Ola's guitars and going, yeah, that's cool. That's not a bad price on that as well. But if you remember, this is actually what we said about Abasi guitars all that time back then. It was, you're trying to jump on the bandwagon of doing the thing that Chapman did, and then Ola did. Who else has done that type of thing? I'm sure someone else has. It was Zach Wilde.
Yeah, so that's right. Wild Audio.
So, but totally missed the point. Like, went for the ridiculous price point, which means fewer sales and higher expectations. To be fair,
I mean, if it had been the case that it was completely premium concept and the stuff had come out of that quality, then fair enough. But I think the unfortunate thing for Frank as well as Tosin was that the first sneak peek of the guitars was needs a bit of work.
Yep.
And I don't think that's great for any brand, really, especially if you're pushing for that prestige kind of level.
Yeah, because if you look back to the original Chapman releases, the ML1s, when they came off the line, they weren't great. But Rob didn't hide that. He was like, we need to learn from this moving forward. If memory serves me correctly, if you took it into Andertons, they'd dress the frets or sort the fret ends out and things like that. So there were definitely issues with them, but it didn't hurt them in the long run because they learned from it and moved forward. And it seems that over the last year, the Tosin and Frank situation was that they both were aware that there was issues that needed sorting out, but those issues didn't get sorted out. Fingers crossed, though. I have spoke to Frank since this has all happened, and maybe we'll have him on. Maybe. Frank, nice. You're always welcome, and not because we're after the gossip, but because
Levi is.
Yeah, well, gossip is good, but it's more a case of like giving you a fair shake.
Yeah,
tell your side of things. Tell us what happened.
Absolutely. Plus, it'd be nice to know what else he's going to be working on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a builder himself anyway, so that's always cool. But it's that old PR adage of just get out in front of it.
I think if you're conscious that you want your brand to survive and you come across things that aren't good, customer satisfaction is like the number one thing you have to address.
Yes.
If this is not good, be honest about it not being good, and if you can't overcome, then adapt.
Yes.
Speaking of not adapting or overcoming.
Yeah, well, we could say that we're speculating here, of course. But we could say that I assume Tosin Abasi and Frank Falbo are no longer friends. We could say that they've had a breakup.
Yes.
You see what I've done there?
I think that was my phone. Sorry for the vibrating flicking through the mics.
But it can't have been as bad a breakup as the band Witch Rot.
No, certainly not.
Had to deal with this week. Or, well, it's probably a bit longer ago than that. But, yeah, so Witch Rot, I believe they're just like a local band. Local level, playing pubs and clubs type thing.
Toronto-based doom metal.
Yes. So they posted on Facebook.
Can I read it in my Scottish accent?
I was going to say, and they had the following to say. Mike, take it away.
This is my ASMR part. Due to the unfortunate reality of our guitarist fucking my girlfriend of almost 7 years, Witch Rot will be taking an extended hiatus. I, however, will continue the band in another space and time. Being ripe with hate, the music is slowly flowing, and without a doubt will become the most devastating, torturous music I have ever created. Thanks for the support. Stay heavy. Peter.
Leaving a nice long dramatic pause. He didn't end it there though, did he? There was just one more line that said...
Also, our drummer died.
Absolutely amazing.
I mean, I think that'd probably be the first point you would come up against if you were saying your band split up. Really saddened to tell people that we lost this member and we value him. No, not even as much as a small eulogy, just, he's gone.
Yeah, absolutely glorious. Well, I do understand it. Like, who knows how the drummer died. Didn't even say who the drummer was, what his name was.
But he died?
So addressed who he is, though, Peter. I understand, like, being in that situation. He's probably angry and devastated that these things have happened. But, maybe two separate posts.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the fairest way to do it. I mean, the version that you have up just now, and for those who are obviously listening, there's nothing on the screen for those that are watching anyway, but if you look up Witch Rot's page, if they still have the post up, the original one also had a photo of the guitar that he played snapped in half in a bin, like he'd clearly rattled it across the ground and the neck had split from the body, and that was it, gone in some sort of dumpster or whatever.
See if I can...
There's there.
Oh.
Still has the strap on it and everything. He's obviously very angry.
Glorious.
Oh, fucking great, man.
Also, having said that though, and maybe I shouldn't make judgments like this, but just look at that guitar.
I know.
That screams to me, we're not a serious band. Or our guitar player doesn't take this seriously.
As I suppose listeners won't know, you and I and Doug and Kendall, previous guitar solos, but previous people that have been on the videos and podcast. No, sorry, not the podcast, just the videos.
Yeah, it was before it was a podcast.
Yeah. We have a group chat, and the majority of it literally is, look how fucking horrendous this guitar is. And I mean, that's a contender.
Yeah. Oh, well, now you've gone and said that, I can't not bring up that Gibson, can I?
You're
that fake Gibson.
You're going to have to.
Okay, so tell them about one of your hobbies, Mike.
You need to remind me what we're talking about.
Gumtree.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So I have a great penchant for going through bargains most of the time and trying to find just basically whatever I can find that's worth buying, even if it's like something I'm not that bothered about. And especially the most fun part about it for me is finding people who are either chancing their luck, hence the previously referred Chancer's Answers, which is something that's still to come in the podcast at some point when I muster up the necessity to harass people. Or sometimes you find, like, those of you that have seen the Ugly Guitars page on Facebook will know of the Headless SG that you cannot get the fuck away from.
Yeah.
Recently, I saw easily the best comeback to that in my life. Now here is...
How much did he want for this?
40 quid.
£40.
I believe it was like a Rockwood guitar or something.
What's that, $55?
Something like that, $50, $60. It's like a Brunswick. It's basically like the cheap Gibson knockoffs. And we thought, well, this... I mean, it's an ugly guitar in its own right. It's pretty much a standard, horrible painted Les Paul. However...
All I could see when you sent me the picture was the top.
Mm-hmm.
Which is...
He's locking it there.
What is that?
I don't actually know. I mean, it could be a bit of fabric that you strapped on there. It certainly looks like it, like a lip of leather or something.
Yeah.
To hang on a
Yeah, no, okay,
yeah,
no, okay. Now I can see that this is a shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was solid.
Oh, okay,
solid, but yeah, you can see that's actually the shadow. So that's a bit leather for hanging the guitar.
Yeah,
Didn't want to hang it to display the picture though, did he?
No. So at this point, you're thinking, how did he modify the bridge? Has he went ahead and bought one of those old Gibson bridges with the fine tuners? Has he put a Floyd Rose on there? A speed loader?
No, he didn't do that.
He went the other end of ingenuity and fired the headstock clean onto the bottom of the guitar. Look at that. Just look at that. I mean, other than the break angles being incorrect for the strings, I think this is some real engineering.
Yeah, and so that's where he's tuning the guitar as well. It's just absolutely.
How awkward would that high E be? Just tune down here.
Yeah, absolutely outrageous. Could have been yours for £40 though.
You were tempted, so was I.
We were both tempted. I mean,
would it not have been funny to hang it in the background upside down?
Well, you know what that makes me think, right? It makes me think, guys, you need to buy more Hellcat Molly. You do need to buy more Hellcat Molly. You need to buy more Guitar Souls t-shirts. Because if we sell loads and loads of t-shirts, we will have a nice little fund sat in Teespring where when something like that comes up, we will both look at each other and go, we've got to get that for the show.
We should do a quarterly special and buy like the worst bit of gear we can find and do not quite a review as much as a teardown.
Yeah. Oh, the problem with doing that would be...
The problem with that is that I get rid of my Miku pedal.
Yeah. Did you get rid of that?
Yes.
And you didn't give me first dibs?
It went on eBay when I was skint.
Oh, yeah.
It was worth my while, put it that way.
Okay. Yeah, if we were to do that, we need to do that guitar first, and you're never going to top that. Famous last words, but I can't see that being topped. That is.
I'm going to start looking. I'm going to find something fucking horrendous.
Good. So,
speaking of horrendous,
yeah. Speaking of horrendous, Tom Morello, you're familiar with his work, right?
Mm-hmm. Pentatonics and lots of pedals to make lots of noises. Yeah,
well, I mean, respect where respect is due. The creativity that he displayed in a lot of his Rage Against the Machine guitar solos.
I can't slate Rage Against the Machine or Audio Slave. I really like the music. I think it's great, and I think the power of it is its simplicity.
Yep.
It's big riffs, a lot of tension and release, and build-ups, and as you say, like the creativity, the ingenuity when it comes to soloing. Like, I saw them at both Finsbury Park, and then Download the week after, and I'm pretty sure it's Testify. He takes the guitar lead out and just taps it above his head for the solo while he's playing with like weird fucking modulator like pedals.
Yep.
I mean, that, who the fuck thinks of that?
Yeah.
I can't wait for this guitar solo that doesn't have a guitar on it.
Yep. Yeah,
but it works.
He's always been immensely creative, and respect where respect is due. Like, if I've often talked about my history of learning music. I grew up without the internet, not because I'm old, but because my parents refused to get the internet. So I was learning a lot from magazines, Total Guitar magazine initially, and then Guitar Techniques magazine.
I love Total Guitar. I'm not going to lie.
Back in the day, Total Guitar was a great magazine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not so good now. Anyway, there was an issue that I got where Tom Morello wrote a column in there, and it was teaching dexterity, finger dexterity exercises. You know, the old 1, 2, 3, 4s, all of those. I remember
the 10-hour exercise, the Steve Vai one.
Steve Vai, yeah.
It was,
yeah,
like fucking quantum mechanics with your fingers.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, that was kind of semi-influential on me. I never thought of Tom as being a particularly technical guitar player, but I remember reading that column, and he certainly spoke about the discipline of playing guitar as though it was something that he had paid a lot of attention to. But the problem with Tom, not really the problem,
the critique against him.
I don't like politics in music. It's
you won't like Rage Against the Machine at all, then?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a big fan of Rage Against the Machine. I should throw that out there.
Each their own.
I don't like politics in music because it's the same as like actors or any person with influence over an audience giving your personal political opinion when you have that level of influence, especially if you're the influence that you have is on young people that are easily molded. It's great if your ideas are good, but not all ideas are good. And I'm not saying Tom Morello's ideas are bad. I'm just saying that the safest way to stay away from that is to not influence thousands and thousands of people on a grand scheme.
That's a fair way to look at it.
Yeah, I've always said about like Rage Against the Machine, they obviously an extremely political band. Like you could make the argument that System of a Down have political motives.
Yeah, they do. You could some of the song themes.
Yes,
and the fact that they even played. Where I can't remember what country they're from.
Well, they are American, but they're Armenian history.
Armenian, that's right. That when the Armenians gained independence and they played at the whatever celebration it was in the city square, and there was like 1 million people there.
Yeah,
that looked wild.
They spent a lot of time in their music, kind of trying to draw attention to the Armenian genocide and things like that. Which, and
cool. The prison system in the US and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so totally political. Maybe I'd make the argument that when they're doing politics, that they are. I'm not going to say there's nuance to it, but it's not. The message is a lot clearer. As a 13-year-old kid, if you listen to Rage Against the Machine, you're not. I don't necessarily think you're going to take the actual political meaning that the writers are going for. I think what you take from it is "fuck me, I won't do what you tell me," and that kind of what we'd now say is anti-establishment. Being older and wiser, being a child, it was being a child, it was
disobedience.
Disobedience,
not even civil disobedience, just disobedience,
which would usually, possibly, manifest towards parents more so than
I'd say could rather than would.
Yeah,
I think it would depend. Obviously, you saying anti-establishmentarianism. Definitely that's where that's where they intend it to go.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's very easy for that to be misconstrued.
But point is, Tom has obviously been extremely political throughout his career. He did the Night Watchman was his solo project.
I never listened to any Night Watchman stuff.
Any of it. But I remember he was very active during the whole Occupy Wall Street thing, and he performed at that often. You know, you think of his guitars, and he's got the Arm the Homeless guitar, which we're staring at right now. And
well, they filmed on Wall Street and got arrested when they did Sleep Now in a Fire as well.
Yep.
I believe the video for that's them basically protesting at in Wall Street.
Yeah, and he laid waste to someone on Instagram a couple of months ago where he was holding up the back of his Fuck Trump guitar, and someone saying, "Oh, another musician, suddenly a political expert," and Tom came back by saying the old, you don't need to have a
PhD
master's
from
degree from Harvard in political science in order to comment on the unethical treatment of minorities from this particular administration. But I do happen to have those qualifications, so I can confirm.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I agree with both perspectives. Like, Tom's right, you don't need those things. But, yeah, also, as I say, like, it works on both sides. Like, Tom has those qualifications and can say those things, but when, like, Madonna does it, you just look and you go, sharp.
Yeah, I genuinely thought you were going to be like on the fence there with Tom Morello, and I was thinking,
no.
That's probably the first time I've ever seen you indecisive about an opinion on something.
Yeah, no. Although I do enjoy them. The old I can see her face. What's her name? That comedian that's not very funny. The blonde one, Amy Schumer. And
she isn't very funny, is she?
Joke stealer. Shit, I'm going to get sued for that. No, my vagina.
Joke stealer.
Yeah. It's not funny to talk about having a smelly vagina. It's just not funny.
I disagree. I think it is.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fine, cool.
All art is subjective.
Yep, that is absolutely true. But if you are going to say that if Donald Trump gets elected, I am going to leave the country, and then you don't leave the country, like,
yeah, I mean,
that, to me that demonstrates just how. Was that my phone?
No, mine's.
Okay. To me, that demonstrates just how the political influence of an artist is fair weather. I'm going to try and take advantage of my position and influence to get people to do what I want. Yeah. Anyway, I raised this for a reason. So Tom has obviously been very anti-capitalism, proud socialist.
I think it's also fair to say that he's quite clearly a very well learnt person.
Yes,
he's obviously interested in studying and having a formal education.
Yep. But he's released a guitar course
through masterclass.com.
Now, have you seen masterclass.com?
No.
Okay, so these guys appear up in my... this is not really guitar related. They're not a guitar related site.
Is this just basically a site for teaching?
Yes, it is a site for teaching, but they get incredible teachers. Like,
But I mean, just looking at right now, there's French pastry, cooking techniques, teaching writing, creative writing, electric guitar, writing thrillers by Dan Brown. Gordon Ramsay's on there.
Yeah.
Cooking and restaurant techniques.
I believe Scorsese's on here.
Okay, so Armin van Buuren's on there teaching techno music and EDM.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. So
R.L.
obviously,
Stein, Martin Scorsese.
Jesus Christ.
James Patterson. Like, these are...
Jesse Bloom.
Deadmau5.
Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. It's just like, yep, all the way along.
Yeah, so I've not purchased any of their courses for anything, but...
I can see me going poor soon.
Yeah, I've not purchased any of their courses, but the impression of Steve Martin teaching comedy, super cool. Like, I admire what they're doing, and these are certainly the types of people that you would like to learn these things from.
Gary Kasparov teaching chess.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I know, yeah.
Werner Herzog teaches filmmaking. You need to click this off. I'm getting distracted, man. Right, so your point being, this is genuinely masterclasses.
Yes, absolutely.
Genuinely masterclasses.
Yeah, so quite why they went for Tom Morello, I'm not entirely sure. But let's just listen to the intro promo.
Okay.
What Tom says.
I didn't trust teachers. I didn't trust politicians. I didn't trust people on the evening news. I trusted music. The language of my life is written in rock and roll and punk rock and hip hop. I'd like to teach a class that makes your guitar playing meaningful to you. I'll show you ideas in chords and solos. I'm going to go through my entire arsenal of guitars, amps, and effects pedals. You practice technique to get your fingers to go where you want them to go. You practice theory to understand where they can go and why. Rock and roll is a visceral experience and a connection with the audience that should be exciting at its core.
I'm going to stop it there because, I mean, that's already the video got a strike. So I just want to go back to the beginning, right?
I didn't trust teachers.
Okay.
I didn't trust politicians.
Okay.
I didn't trust people on the evening news.
But you should trust me.
He doesn't explicitly say that.
I mean, the first thing he says is, I didn't trust teachers. I have achieved all of these things, and I got it by not trusting teachers.
So trust me as a teacher.
But trust me. You know what I mean? Like, you, and also, I hope, in fact, the resounding notion that came, the kickback they got from this is, you know what, Tom? Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't play what you tell me.
That's enough of that, please.
It is enough of that, but there's a deeper issue that I take with this.
Yes.
And it's Tom Morello, the proud socialist, anti-capitalism. So this course is free, right?
No.
You're just giving it to the people.
No.
Sharing it with the people. Sharing your wealth and experience with people. I have nearly 500 videos on my YouTube channel giving away education. Actual education. Let's just point that out. Actual education. Tom Morello in this is teaching riffs that it'd be great if they're riffs that you were unable to learn until now, but people have known how to play these riffs since the first Rage Against the Machine album came out. Like, this isn't new information. It's old information presented by the person that originally played it. Anyway, yeah. Free, isn't it, Tom? Surely it's free. You wouldn't be jumping into some sort of massive capitalist scheme, would you?
No, of course not.
No, of course not. How much?
£170 a year.
Yeah, so that's access for all classes.
Yeah.
All classes.
If you just want Tom's, it's £85.
£85. What's that in dollars? Like $120?
Something round about that. Yeah, I think the dollars are like $125, $130. So yeah, let's say $100, $120.
Yeah, it's
It says 26 lessons. Now, how many of those are him showing you stuff, and how many of those are actual lessons? Will we read through them?
Yeah.
Number 1, introduction. Number 2, developing your creative voice. Right, okay. Number 3, riffs. I mean, if you're going for riffs at number 3 of 26, okay. Number 4, gear, pedals and effects. Number 5, tones and sounds. Now, I'd have thought that would have probably came under pedals and effects because, I mean, that's part of your building your tone, unless that's one split into 2, which I can't really criticise because we're pretty bad for that. Did I say number 6 there? Tom's noise chart, which I'm guessing is just him showing you...
Examples from Guerrilla Radio, your time has come. Yeah.
So I'm showing you making crazy, mad noises. Tom's influences, rock, jazz, classical and folk. Not a lesson. Tom's influences, EDM, the blues and hip-hop. Also not a lesson. 9, practice. 10, technique, developing speed. Surely you'd have technique before practice.
Yeah.
Surely.
And also Tom Morello, known for being very fast.
There's a couple of solos that are pretty good, but it's all pretty much legato. Fancy runs. Not really fancy, but runs. Beginner theory, pentatonic and blues scale. Yes, that's great for 11 of 26. Surely beginner would be at the beginning before practice and technique.
And developing speed.
I know, man. 12, theory, unlocking the fretboard. Oh no. 13, improvisation. 14, solos. 15, solo case study, The Ghost of Tom Joad, which is a Bruce Springsteen track.
Yep.
I know Rage Against the Machine done a cover of it. 16, rock songwriting fundamentals. 17, riff rock writing, verses and multi-tracking. I mean, that's 3 riffs so far. 4, riff rock writing, chorus, solo and arrangement. 19, lyrics and melody. 20.
What's lyrics and melody got to do with Tom Morello teaches electric guitar?
Pass. 20, studio recording. Relevant to guitars, I suppose.
Yep.
21, case study. Killing in the Name. 22, live shows. Philosophy and nerves. That would be quite interesting, I think. Especially for someone who's played in some massive capacities. Like when I was at Finsbury Park, they stopped the gig 3 times within about 3 songs because the crowd were going so nuts that people were being crushed like fuck against the barrier. And to the point where like Saturday Rockers like mid-song stopped it, like, you need to look after each other or we can't play anymore. Please stop crushing each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Number 23, live shows, practicalities and performance. 24, bands and collaboration. 25, gear, Tom's guitars and amps. We've already looked at gear. I mean, surely if he's got to talk about tone and signal chains, you wouldn't split into 3 separate parts that are 10 episodes apart. And 26 is the conclusion.
So, I'm a member of I've used some sites that do similar things to this, like Creative Live. I think it's Creative Live is the one that has the like the periphery recording tutorial on there, and there's like a Joey Sturgis thing. Yeah. But I specifically picked like Creative Live because with Creative Live you purchase the course.
Okay.
And it gives you the breakdown of what's contained in it. But they do something that this doesn't do. They give you the length of each of these chapters and an overall course length. This is 26 videos, but this could be an hour. It could be 8 hours. Yeah. So
that's fair.
It's odd that they don't put that in there. It's not.
What's the other one? I can't remember the name yet. Never mind.
Yeah, gone. But
never mind.
So is Tom Morello. So you're gone, buddy. Just it baffles me. It baffles me from.
I think I'm more curious. No, sorry, I'm more skeptical than curious. I was thinking I was more curious and skeptical, but I'm not.
The thing is, like, I talk about that, and it might sound like I don't like Tom Morello. Like, he seems like, by all accounts, he seems like a really nice guy and somebody.
No, you were fairly reasoned in what you said. You weren't saying that he shouldn't be allowed to voice his opinion. You said that you have to be wary of it and you need to be very careful on how you do it.
Yeah.
And then your opinion on his constantly spoken about political viewpoints versus the actual ethics of this course, and then the actual application of him as a teacher.
Yep.
That's only fair as someone who is, by all accounts and trades, a teacher.
Yep.
That is your big thing.
Yep.
So
I'm sure if I met Tom, I could sit down and have a really long conversation with him about things, and we'd have so much common ground. But I'd really just want to get to the root of that kind of is this not a contradiction to your entire philosophy? You should really want to give this away for free. You really should. You should.
I think my problem more is I'd like to know how effective the teaching is in it, because the episodes, some of them sound like they'd be really good for someone who wants to be a professional musician, and some of them don't sound like there's much cohesion between them.
Yeah.
So I think if there's anyone listening who purchased the course or is going to purchase the course, please let us know what you think of it. I'd be very interested to hear.
That's a
very,
really
very
good
interested.
point. Very interested. I know Jamie Humphries actually participated in the creation of this course.
Wow.
He I'm not sure what his level of involvement was, but when it was announced, he posted about it and said, I was involved in the creation of this course. So, maybe he's helped to refine it in some way. Who knows? It could be like the old Hot Licks videos, though, that were by and large were dreadful. You never know what you're going to get. Tom Morello, I don't know, as a teacher, or if he's a good teacher, if he's good at conveying information, if he can justify £85 for that. If you do buy it, please do let us know. Let us know how you got on with it. If you don't buy it, you've probably got enough money to buy yourself a Guitar Souls t-shirt. Or
two.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, 2 for 32 quid? I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Save on postage the more you buy. So, yes. Yeah, cool. So, and I'm all right as a capitalist. So
yeah,
buy our merchandise in order to help our commercial venture
continue. If I had to say anything negative about anyone selling merch, I think I would probably get laughed at, considering the amount of beautiful merchandise the Party Cannon have.
Yep.
But it's not a Guitar Souls t-shirt, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. If you had a Party Cannon t-shirt that had everyone's face on it, there you go.
I'm going to parody it and just get Defend Guitar Souls in the back of one of the t-shirts.
Okay, cool. So why don't we, seeing as we've absolutely ballsed up this being on YouTube, with the copyright claim that I'm sure will probably come from those little clips of Tom Morello.
I'm sure if you distort it and shit, no one will care.
I can edit them out, it'll be fine. Why don't we react? So this is Today I Learned an artist was hired to create the most unwanted song, which contains bagpipes.
Wait a minute. Who doesn't like bagpipes? Because if you're listening to this, and get the fuck out your own house right now. Nah, to be fair, it's very much... I don't want to say an acquired taste, but they have to be in the right context. Bagpipes are great at a traditional Scottish wedding, or if you are at the military tattoo in Edinburgh, or something like that. In music, AC/DC get away with it, but I can't think of any other examples of bagpipes in a song. Even Jonathan Davis, who claims to be Scottish, who isn't Scottish.
Drew McIntyre, or Drew Galloway, the wrestler, his intro, because he's Scottish.
You're going to know more about that guy than me.
His music has bagpipes in it, and it's kind of cool, because it's bagpipes and it's heavy.
He was ICW, then went WWE, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been everywhere. Anyway,
don't know much about wrestling, but
yeah,
good on you, big man. Well done.
Bagpipes, not a big fan of the old bagpipes. Sorry.
Well,
the Red Hot Chili Pipers are playing Motherwell soon, and I don't think I'll be going.
I mean, to be fair to those guys, they play all over the world.
I'm sure they do. And I'm glad, because if they're playing all over the world, it means they've got less time to be here.
If you're not going, why does that concern you? It's not as if Motherwell Civic has like a 80,000 kPa system where as soon as there's a concert, you can't get away from it.
That is true. Well, I mean, I live relatively close to the Motherwell Civic Centre.
It's not that bad.
And I might drive past it, and bagpipes might enter my ear, and I don't know why I'm laughing. So yeah, the most unwanted song, which contains bagpipes, children singing about holidays, advertising jingles, accordions, and a soprano rap. It lasts 22 minutes. Now, we're probably not going to make it through all 22 minutes of this.
No.
But, I thought we'd have a look at it.
Let's give it a blast. So the song is called Soldier, the most unwanted song.
The most unwanted music.
Was this not on Sting's album, 10 Summoner's Tale?
I'm not fully offended by any of this yet.
Not yet.
Okay, so we're going to get some vocals in now. I mean, let's listen to that all again. This is just reminding me that I've not sat down and played Red Dead Redemption 2 properly yet.
It's quite a bit of distance.
Because I'm sure this will probably be in Red Dead somewhere.
I hope not.
Okay. Yeah, I can't get on board with this. This isn't the most unwanted piece of music to me. This is
leave it on.
I'm not. This is just a different track. It says slam. Defend, rap, soprano, slam. It says slam for 3 bars.
How can you hate bagpipes with that going on?
Slam for a bar. Back to the start, okay.
That genuinely reminds me of something Kieran would have wrote when he was younger.
Yep. Okay, here we go.
Do you think they picked a soprano to sing those low notes just to make it even worse?
See, I had assumed before we listened to this that they were going to be going out of their way to write something that was, you know, unpleasant, like dissonant.
It's going to get worse, I think.
Everything functions, you know, like it could be a more unwanted song if you deliberately had the vocalist singing out of key, but they've not gone for that. It's like a functioning piece of music. It's just exactly what it's described as. Like, who wants this?
Which is
funny.
It must have taken some amount of thought to be like, how can I write a song that works but is horrendous?
Bagpipe solo, but everyone plays and kids scream. Again, to me, this just sounds like a different track.
Square brackets, nightmares in Scottish. I might sample this as an intro for the Party Cannon set.
25 seconds of that, so we're doing well. We're 4 minutes into it. I'm sure we can do more.
I'm game. I'm just getting started. It just reminds me of Mr. Bungle.
Hey everybody, it's Christmas time!
Yes!
Beat 24 on an old Casio. That's who wanted the theme, Walmart. They wanted to put a 22.5-minute advert that made everybody sick.
Piccolo way up front, everyone else plays just drums. Okay, so the kids are going to come back now. Everyone else slams very quietly. This is slam! Like, literally for the best part of the year I've been asking you, please explain to me what slam is, show me. And you're like, well, it's like when you want to dance like a T-Rex or like you're swinging a big hammer. No, this is slams.
I'll let you listen to some slams later if you really want to, but I know you don't.
I can hear the slams in the background. They're slamming very quietly. I'm just going to bring your face up on screen just because you're laughing that much.
Oh God.
Is the rap going to come back yet?
Conductor can cue fast slams from Grau.
How many people were listening to this podcast and have now turned it off?
You need to say that again. What?
How many people were listening to this podcast and have now turned it off?
Anyone with sense. Anyone.
I'm going to skip ahead.
Know what I love about it? Meaning is doing. It's a language game. Words are content. Nonsense. Nonsense. Words are content. Yahoo.
I want to hear these warbles improvisation with heart. Credit where credit is due. It does what it set out to do.
I think the vocals were done in one take.
Yeah.
22 minutes of just finding a spot to jump in. The only criticism I have is it says buy your shopping at Walmart. What it should say is buy your shopping at Teespring. # Guitar Souls.
Oh!
You know?
Mike, you've been spending way too much time around me. You're
I know.
learning to plug. That's
it.
Patreon.com/Levi Clay. Cool. So what does that even say?
That says Billy Corgan.
Oh, yes.